Hello all. Let's discuss some more questions on Indian economy and social development. So let's begin. Which of the following pairs are correctly matched? First pair is increase in forex reserve, and it has been matched with monetary expansion. Second is low import of growth rate in India, and it has been matched with recession in Indian industries. And next is euro issues, and it has been matched with shares held by Indian companies in the European countries. And options are 1, 2 and 4, 3 and 4, 1, 2 and 3, and 1, 2, 3 and 4, that is R. So if we talk about increase in forex reserve, monetary expansion. So the first is correctly matched. Yes, it is correct, because whenever there is a rise in forex, there is a monetary expansion in the market. Forex, there is a rise in monetary, or you can say rise in liquidity in the market, and that leads to monetary expansion. How? Let me give you an example. For example, suppose we have got rupees 100 crore investment in the form of FII or FDI. So suppose a US citizen is coming, US investor is coming, and he is bringing 100 crore dollar 100 crore into Indian market. He invests Indian market, so he will bring the dollar, but this dollar, RBI will keep this dollar and issue rupee to him, and this rupee he will invest in Indian companies. And ultimately this will lead to, you can say, monetary expansion in Indian market or more liquidity in Indian market. So first is correct. Second, low import of growth rate in India, that it means lead to recession in Indian industries. Yes, obviously. Why? Because whenever import goes down, it means that demand will also go down, manufacturing will go down. So whenever import goes down, when import goes down, manufacturing also goes down, or important economic activities also go down. Because in India we import essentials such as oil and all these things. Our major import is dominated by oil. So we import essential, we don't import luxury and all these things. Yes, we import, but very less in quantity. We import mostly essential such as oil, such as medicine, such as high-end tech products, technology products, and all these things. So when we import these essential items such as oil, gas, and all these things, whenever the import goes down, this leads to less availability of these essential products in the market, and these products help in economic activities, other economic activities. And whenever there will be low import in India, this will lead to recession in the economy. So this is also correct. For example, let me give you a real-time example. Today we are facing with coronavirus disease, COVID-19, and we know that there has been most of the import activities have been blocked, and due to this we are facing a lot of constraints, and our growth rate, GDP growth rate, is going down. And this is the reason that why RBI has not issued for this quarter, the GDP data, because everyone knows that it will cause a panic, and right now we have to focus on this disease, not on the GDP numbers. So this is the reason, because everyone knows that the growth rate has slowed down. So this is the thing, that If a low import growth rate in India will lead to recession in Indian industry. Next thought, Euro issues shares held by Indian companies in European countries. This is not correct. Why? Because Euro issues are not related to share. These are related to international trade and taxation, international taxation or double taxation, DTAA. So this is not related to shares. So this is not correct. And if we eliminate option 3, then 3 options we have eliminated. So only 1 is correct. So it is very important to know, to find out in these type of question, it is very important to find out that which statement is actually correct, which statement is you can say incorrect, and by that, after that you can eliminate the option. For example, when I know that the third is not correct, then I easily know, you can say eliminated the 3 options, so only 1 option is left, and so it is this, that is answer, that is the answer. I'm sorry, in this question, 4th option, the option 4 has been, you can say, missed. This is a typographical error, sorry for the inconvenience caused, but the answer will be 1 and 2 then. The answer out of the given, the answer will be 1 and 2 only. So this is the correct answer. Now let's come to the next question. The next question is, which of the following are among the non-plan expenditures? Non-plan expenditures of Government of India. Options are defense expenditure, subsidies, all expenditures linked with the previous plan period, and interest payment. So if we talk about, so to understand the answer to this question, we have to talk about public finance, because it is a matter of public finance, and public finance manages Government of India's public finance. Public finance manages Government of India's revenue, expenditure and loans. So what is public finance? Public finance is a strategy, and public finance is a economic strategy to manage Government of India's loans, expenditure and revenue. Loan, expenditure and revenue. So we have not to talk about the whole topic of public finance, but let's talk about one subtopic of public finance and one content of the public finance, that is expenditure. So earlier expenditure was classified into 2 categories. Earlier it was classified into planned expenditure and non-planned expenditure. Non-planned expenditure. But this type of classification, after the end of planning commission, after the dismantling of planning commission, and after doing away with the 5-year plans, this classification has been now eliminated. So there is no classification like planned and non-planned now. But yes, we can classify today, when we can classify the expenditures into developmental expenditure or non-developmental expenditure. Non-developmental, but this is also not very correct, because we cannot strictly classify this is a developmental expenditure, this is non-developmental expenditure. We cannot strictly classify this. But yes, some people also classify expenditures as developmental expenditure and some expenditures as non-developmental expenditure. And earlier, those planned expenditures were called developmental expenditure, while non-planned expenditures were called non-developmental expenditure. But a very good, you can say, good mode to classify expenditure may be capital or asset generating expenditure and other expenditures. Or we can classify that merit expenditure versus non-merit expenditure. So what are capital or asset generating expenditures? Capital or asset generating expenditure means any expenditure that generates either capital or any asset, whether tangible, non-tangible, intangible, whether you can say long term or short term, any asset. If it generates any asset, if it generates especially fixed assets, mostly fixed assets, then it can be called to be capital or asset generating expenditure, and this can be also called merit expenditure. So merit expenditure are all those expenditure that are for developmental and manufacturing processes or developmental and asset generation purposes. So merit expenditure caused on merit activities, for example generating assets, fixed assets, generating, you can say, capital, or generating you can say for developmental purposes, while the non-merit expenditure will be all those that are non-developmental. So this is the classification. Now let's come to our main topic that is being discussed in this question. It is saying that which among the following are non-planned expenditure. So this question is related to earlier classification of planned and non-planned. So we know that non-planned were also called non-developmental, they were also called other, or they were also called non-merit. So what were the expenditure that were classified, that were put under the head of non-developmental or non-planned expenditure? So all these options are correct. Defense expenditure were also put under you can say non-merit or non-developmental expenditure or non-planned expenditure. So they were non-planned. Subsidies were also non-planned. All expenditures linked with the previous plan period were also classified under non-planned, put under the non-planned head. And interest payment on the loans, international loans taken, so they were also put under a non-planned expenditure. So the answer to this question will be option 4. So let me summarize what we talked about in this question, in this explanation. We talked that public finance is an art and science of managing revenues, expenditures, and loans of Government of India. And what are the attributes, or what are the contents or attributes of public finance? The attributes or contents of public finance are receipts, also called revenue, expenditures, and loans. Loans may be internal or external. They may be short term, also long term, short term or long term, while the expenditure is may be classified on various bases. For example, as I told you earlier, planned, non-planned, merit, non-merit. For example, I told you developmental, non-developmental. So all these. And in the same way, receipts are of two types: revenue receipts and non-revenue receipts. Under revenue receipts, there are tax revenue and non-tax revenue. Under tax revenue, there are direct tax revenue and there are indirect tax revenue. And under non-tax revenue from you can say, as it is going on, revenue from disinvestment, revenue from the public sector undertakings, dividend of public sector undertakings, and all these things.